Hi, this is Teresa Street, and you're listening to the Poppy Payoff Path. Thanks for being here. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. I just want to tell you some stories and events that have happened probably in the past week, I would say, and just give you some things to think about. So the first one is we've talked a lot about budgeting and debt payoff and finances. In the midst of getting our finances in order for retirement, we live in a condo that is almost 40 years old, and I think the bathrooms have been patched up once, possibly since then, and maybe new cabinets were put in, but the original shower and bathtub / shower accommodation are still were not renovated, is basically what I'm saying. So the tile in one bathroom is kind of cracking, and you can tell it just needs some updating. And in the other one, they reglazed the tile, including the bathtub. And we've lived here for 3 years, and that started peeling almost immediately. So we've been trying to decide what to do about that. Going back a little bit, we weren't sure if we were going to stay here, so we're kind of holding off on doing anything on the condo. But now that we're going to stay here, we want to make it our own, and we want to have a nice place to live that is upkept or kept up. And we'll worry about resale value and all that down the road a little bit. But you never want to live in a place that is not updated or maintained at your ability. So anyway, we decided that with part of my husband's latest bonus check, which I'm so grateful that he works with a company that gives those kind of bonuses, that we would do bathroom renovations. Now, this is probably the first time, other than walking in the grocery store and turkey sausage being $5.89 instead of $2.99, was when I kind of last noticed what the price was of it. But we had someone come yesterday and do estimates and go through the cost and everything. And when I say sticker shock, I just never in my wildest dream thought that this renovation would come with that price tag. But yep, that's what it's coming at. And so that bonus that my husband got is just a drop in the bucket to the amount that the renovations will cost. But we'll have custom showers, and we'll get someone to replace toilets, and our sinks are fine. We'll probably get the faucets changed out on those, which we can do ourselves. But we did do a little financing for that, just to get it taken care of. But I believe we'll have that paid off within 1 year. It doesn't set us back on our debt payoff plan. It's just kind of restructuring a little bit. We've got some other ideas, like I will once we decide, well, once I figure out about this job application that I have in, I've already done the interview, and hopefully that'll go well. There's no way to know what that'll be like, but even if it's not, things will work out just fine. After that happens, we're going to look at our debt and possibly do a debt consolidation, so those accounts get closed, and then in a period of time, likely 3 years, we will have those accounts paid off, which is what we would do anyway. But in the short term, it'll help us to pay off, like not pay so much interest on the accounts as we're paying them off. This year, I think that we have paid off about $45,000 so far. And now remember, part of that was because I traded my car, my new Mazda, on a 11-year-old Mini Cooper. So just remember, that money has not come directly out of our pockets 100%, but a large portion of it has. We have really buckled down to be able to make this financial change happen, and it's pretty exciting. So yeah, I wanted to tell you that because I always want to be upfront and let you know that when you're going towards a goal, it's not a straight line. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, or even more. Sometimes the goal kind of falls off, and you have to get back into it. And that's just part of life. There's so much coming at us in one time that we just have to do the best we can with what we have, as far as energy and finances and focus, all in one time. And in addition to that, there are 2 imperfect people running these lives. My husband and I are imperfect. We're not trying to act like robots running through life. This probably the last 2 weeks, my spending has been a little bit, I'll say, back to normal. I've gone and bought some shoes or outfits, or some other beauty supplies that I need. So it's not off plan, because sometimes you just need clothes and shoes and beauty supplies. And although I was trying to use up most of what I had before I went and bought anything else, it's okay, because I'm going to use it. We had the money in our budget to do it. It's just you just have to make a choice. We just had to make a choice whether or not that amount of money stays in the account and is prioritized to go to either savings or to pay off an account, or we go and buy clothes. And the same for eating out. Sometimes we eat out an extra time during the week, and that is totally okay. And I just want to encourage you that if you have a goal that you're working on, whatever kind of goal it is, if you're working on being more tied to your eating habits. If you have a macro plan that you're working towards, it's not always going to be perfect because everybody is not doing the same thing that you're doing. Sometimes, like your friends want to go out to dinner with you, or somebody brings a snack to work or something like that. You can always, make the more healthy choice. You can always, with finances, make the choice that is closer to what your goals are. But the point is, you just have to stay awake and remember that every decision you make is either taking you toward your goals or away from it. And you have to decide, if you make a choice that takes you away from your goal, what are you going to do as the next step? Are you going to get back in line? And, don't judge yourself. Don't be beat up on yourself and say, oh, I should have. Just turn around and do the right thing. Do what you think is right, not what someone else thinks it's right. I'm pretty strong-minded about that, because I think that sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, and life is not meant to be such a struggle of the mind all the time. We are imperfect human beings, and we have to just work with what we've got. That's all there is to it. I want to say that 6 months ago, I bet if the same things were going on, if we were trying to do bathroom renovations, which, by the way, it's going to be like 8 to 12 weeks because the stuff has to be custom made, and permits in Florida are like a whole different thing. Apparently they take a long time. But anyway, if I was trying to do this even 6 or 8 months ago, I would be so stressed out. But I don't feel like that. I have had several months experience with our approach to our goals, and it's helping me in my mindset as far as how I approach different activities that I want to happen, how we discuss things in our marriage even. It's helping me slow down and talk to my husband and consider his viewpoint more, which I think that I've always considered it. It's just my mind is so busy that sometimes I think I run forward, and sometimes he has to kind of put on the brakes and say, hey, wait, let's talk about this, or well, anyway, like how he talks is totally different than how I talk, which is good, because there does not need to be two Teresas in this marriage, for sure. He seems to be the voice of reason and caution, and I'm like, let's do this, let's go. And sometimes we do need to put the brakes on a little bit and just think through things and think of a different perspective. So I'm very grateful that he is my husband, and he's the one that fulfills that role in my life, because he's perfect for me. So today, just kind of a little bit of a pivot. I don't know if this is a good transition, but maybe this terrible transition is good enough. Today I went grocery shopping after Mass, and went to my 3 stores. I go to Sam's, I go to Aldi, and I go to Publix. I would get everything from Sam's and Aldi if I could, but Aldi doesn't always have everything that I want. So I had to go to Publix today. And as I was riding around and, picking up things from different stores, it was really exciting to me today that we bought a small enough amount of groceries to fill up the back part of the car without laying the seats down. Because normally Poppy is very small. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a Mini Cooper, but they're very small. If you lay the seats down, there's plenty of room for a serious Sam's haul. But when I can get groceries and just have it in the, 12-inch section of the car that is the trunk, it's just exciting, because there was 3 grocery bags and a flat of Diet Cokes. That was it today. And, riding around with Poppy, listening to music, deciding which one of my car phone holders, one clips to the visor and one clips to the rear view mirror. And the one that clips to the visor is really great. It goes all different kinds of ways, but the visors in the car are so small that it weighs down the visor. So I don't know if that one's gonna make it, but I bought it from TikTok Shop for, I think it was $2.99, and there was a special that day for half off with free shipping. So I paid $1.50 for it. So, if it doesn't work, who cares? I think the other one's fine. It's just taken me a little bit to get used to how to set it on my rear view mirror, because another thing about a Mini Cooper is the rear view mirror is so little, the stem for it is so little that trying to hook that clamp on behind the mirror and get it just right, and still be able to adjust your mirror has taken me some getting used to. But that one is so much better quality than the second one. I've gone off on a tangent. I say all that to say that I'm just having the most fun with all of my little errands and Poppy and everything. Every time I really think about why I have her and, how I got to own her instead of the last car that I had is, it's just fun. It's just a fun little story. And I know that as time goes on, it'll just, the story is just going to build on itself. And, it's little things like when I pull out of a parking space, there's no mirrors, there's no signal, motion detector. There's none of that. I'm using eyeballs to get out of car parking lots or parking places. And it's funny to me because, I'm looking all around, and I just think, it scares me. It scares me because I think, what if I miss somebody, who is back there, a pedestrian, whatever. But I do still catch myself looking at the dashboard for the camera display, which it's just a radio display. It doesn't even have a CD player. I thought when I bought it, it had a CD player, but it doesn't even have that. So I guess I just froze up. I guess I say all that to say that it's so fun to have her because it's a reminder of the decision that I made to go from the brand new, the latest technology to just simple stripping back all the layers and prioritizing our finances, which I'm sure in the middle of this bathroom renovation, I'm going to be like, we're crazy for doing this. But we're going to get there. You know what? I don't know if I ever mentioned once I figure out, like, do I get this job? Did I not get this job that I applied for? I am going to talk to the bank about a debt consolidation. I think I did talk about it. This is me trying to record on the afternoon of Mother's Day, Sunday, when, Monday's coming. We have a lot to get done today. It is 3:47 local time, and I haven't done meal prep yet today. And I insist on going outside to the pool because the sun is shining so bright today. And I just want to have some enjoyment of this day with us before we dive into the week. And what I want to leave with you today is every day, or even today, decide what your top priorities are and make a list. And every day, look at your priority list, decide how you're going to get that done. Put it on your schedule, put it on notes, on your notes app with a little, like as a check mark where you can check it off every time you complete one. And then at the end of the day, go back to your tracker. I have a tracking app. I have a, checklist in my journal. Go back there and do a little review of, like, how did today look? Did I meet my goals? Did I check off everything on my list? If not, maybe what didn't get checked off on your list that day gets first priority the next day. All of your things don't have to be done every day exactly alike. You can do them a little, like 3 times a week, 1 time a week, whatever works for you. But I think that I definitely feel better if I'm tracking and I can see that data of what I have accomplished in the week and in the month. And it also keeps me tied to my goals. I have certain relationship goals. I have certain reading goals. I'm look at my list over here. I have a goal to read the Bible every day, go to Mass once a week, just there's a few more on there. But I want to look back and see, how many times have I done this lately? Am I meeting my goals? And it's data if I haven't done it or if I've done it, especially the things that I want to do once a week as a minimum. I have, let me show you. I have the Habit app, which I like. I'm not really good about keeping it up, but let me see. Okay, here's one. Oh man. Okay, you can see, like, on the calendar here, the little check marks or the little boxes, those are Those are days that I completed. Now, I will forget about that app in a second. I'm not very good about doing it. I'm trying to work on it. I feel like I'll do it really good for about 3 or 4 days and then forget it exists. And that's just a challenge that I have. But I also have my finished notebook that I know that I've shared with you before. Let me see if I can. Nope. Gosh. Nope. Oh my gosh. This side would be better. These are the things on my list that I want to get done. And I checked one day this week is what I checked. So I'm going to have to go back and figure out when I did all of those things and then make a plan for this week to get it done, because I'm definitely ignoring some of the things on my list. And I don't want to. I have everything on my list because I want to do it. So sometimes that's just how it happens. And we have to refocus ourselves and, get back to it. Thanks for spending this time with me today. If you're somewhere in the middle of your own story, the messy part, the rebuilding part, the part where progress feels slow, I hope this reminded you that you're not alone. Your goals matter, your growth matters, and every step counts. Until next time, keep moving forward on your own payoff path. You're closer than you think.